And a very pleasant good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Hornets Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The Hornets return home for a pair of games this week against the Phoenix Pirates, getting the first of two started right here today. The Hornets enter play 16-1, the number one ranked team in the 4A classification. They have the most wins out of any baseball team at any classification in the state of Oregon. 16-1, 8-0. The Phoenix Pirates enter play today 6-12, 2-6 in league play this season. This will be the third meeting between these two teams. It was a Saturday to open conference play where Henley took two from Phoenix in a doubleheader back at their ballpark in Phoenix. And so now the Pirates get to come here to wonderful Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. The wind is blowing. There are clouds to the north of us, but hoping for 7 innings of good baseball today. Glad you could be with us. We're going to step aside when we come back. We'll take a look at each of these two teams a little bit more in depth, as well as get to know the starting lineups and, of course, first pitch on the way. 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introduce Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Back with you at Henley High School for Hornets baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The meeting at the home plate is concluded. Both head coaches trading lineups, and the teams have taken the field. Bo Pyle on the mound for Henley, and he's going up against a Phoenix order that goes like this. Leading off and catching for the Pirates is Jackson Schultz, followed by Ryan Watts, the shortstop, batting second. The designated hitter, Caden Sousa, bats third, followed by Luke Jennings, hitting cleanup and playing first base today for Phoenix. Carver Wallowicz is in center field, batting fifth, followed by Sam Schultz, the pitcher, hitting sixth. Batting 7th is Luca Patron in left field, followed by Saul Segundo in right field. Hitting 8th and rounding out the Phoenix order is Caden Cunningham, the third baseman. Now, take a look at Bo Pyle on the mound for Henley today. And you'll see that he is leading the team in innings pitched this year. This will also be his 7th start. He leads the team in that metric. He's 3-0 on the mound this year with an ERA of 2.76. He's been efficient, and last time he played against these Pirates, he went 7 innings, a complete game, 3 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts, and that was a performance on the road. Now Pyle on his home mound, looking to maybe repeat that performance against these Pirates. But Schiltz stepping into the box means we are just about ready for baseball today. As we move throughout this afternoon's game, we'll give you a look at each of these teams as far as their conference games has gone, as today officially marks the second half of conference play, at least for Henley it does. Here we go. It's Schiltz stepping in to the right-handed batter's box to get things started today. Schiltz this season for Phoenix, batting .245 at the top of the order. He is second on the team in hits this year, tied for second. And a little bit dark today. If you're watching on mybasin.com, apologies for the darkness, but best you can, hope you can follow the action today. First pitch from Pyle is going to miss high. Again, we're starting a little bit early today. Scheduled first pitch 5 o'clock. Starting here at 4:54. My phone says 67 degrees, but there is a pretty fair wind blowing out towards left center field, as there typically is here at Rosser Field. 1-0 pitch is going to miss low, and it's 2-0. A little bit of dark rain clouds forming up to the north of us. It's kind of right behind home plate. Hard ground ball towards third. Carpenter up with it, but he is going to bobble it on the transfer. And so that will be an error, and Jackson Schiltz aboard to start this ball game. So Schiltz boosted that on-base percentage. It was at .420. Will certainly climb now. That brings up Ryan Watts, and this season for Watts, he has been hitting .244. A pitch high will miss. It's 1-0. Go around the diamond for the Hornets after this 1-0 pitch. Here it is. It's going to be taken for a ball looked to be maybe inside. 2-0. Souza waits on deck. Starting behind the dish for Henley, Connor Shively has started every game this season as he receives ball 3. At third base, it's Mark Carpenter. Aiden Hayes plays shortstop today for Henley, followed by the freshmen Carson Sims and Corbin Hamilton. The right side of the Henley infield, manned by a couple freshmen today. We'll get to the outfield after this 3-0 pitch to Ryan Watts. That'll be taken for a strike. 3-1. Luke Austin stays in left field amid lineup changes, and the Price brothers play center and right field. Peyton in center and Max in right. It's a 3-1 count home to Ryan Watts. Here it is. Showing bunt, but called a strike as Watts pulled back in time, but that found the zone instead. Now a full count to the Phoenix shortstop. Runner aboard at first is Jackson Schiltz. Pitch swung on and missed. Pyle elevates a fastball and gets one swinging for the first out here in the first inning. And that will bring up Caden Souza. Souza is batting .245 this season, second on the team in that metric. Also second on the team in base hits. He's tied with Schiltz, who's aboard at first, with one out in the top of the first inning. Delivery from Pyle. That one's going to miss high, 1-0. Phoenix, losers of 3 of their previous 4 contests. Their one win coming in a 6-0 win over Mazama. Pickoff move over to first, winds up down the line. Advancing to second is Jackson Schiltz, but Henley's having trouble getting it. Schiltz is going to be able to advance all the way to third. Heads up base running there by the Phoenix catcher, and now a runner in scoring position with just one out. Uncharacteristic couple of errors for Henley here in this opening inning. Here's the 1-0. That'll find the zone. 1-1, the count now to Caden Sousa. Now, he's got a runner there at third base. Sousa this season leads his team in RBI at 14 this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes to the Phoenix designated hitter. On deck is Luke Jennings. Sousa swings and misses at a pitch in the zone. Strike 3, 2 outs for Luke Jennings. Jennings bats with the runner at third, Schiltz. Jennings leads the team in batting average this season at .314. Stepping into the right-handed batter's box, you look at him with runners in scoring position this season. He is batting .450. Tips one foul. .01, the count to Jennings. Carver Wallowicz on deck for the Pirates. That pitch is in the dirt. Shively keeps it in front of him, so just a harmless pitch that'll be called a ball. 1-1. It was wild pitches and pass balls that almost sunk the Hornets back on Thursday when they played Hidden Valley, but they stuck with the process and came away with a 7-4 win over Hidden Valley, maybe their most gritty win of the season. 2-1, the count to Luke Jennings. Pyle working from the windup with the runner on third. The 2-1 is going to miss low. 3-1 to Jennings. The top of the first inning just getting started today at Henley High School. Here's the 3-1. That'll be in the dirt, and a walk collected by Jennings brings up Carver Wallowicz with runners at the corners and 2 away. Wallowicz this season batting .182, not where he'd like to be, I'm sure, but a good opportunity to come up and help his team here. He does have 7 RBI on the season and pops one foul to start the at-bat. It seems like Carver has come up in the moments where his team needs him most. That 7 RBI, good for 4th most on the team. Pyle going to step off, and a meeting at the mound as the infield comes in to talk with Pyle. It's a great time for us to remind you that today's broadcast is brought to you by Les Schwab Tires. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of an essential safety checklist. That's why Les Schwab does more than install just tires and wheels. Come on in for a free pre-trip safety check. They're going to make sure that everything is in working order at Les Schwab Tires. 3 locations here in the Basin: Washburn Way, South 6th Street, and of course in Merrill. Les Schwab Tires has been doing the right thing since 1952. All right, the meeting on the mound is over, and it's an 0-1 count to Carver Wallowicz. Runners at the corners with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Still scoreless, a chance to break that for Wallowicz. Pyle comes set, delivers the 0-1. He'll miss high. A ball and a strike. Henley softball playing behind us, and we'll try to give you score updates for the number 1 Lady Hornets as we move throughout today's game as well. A pitch misses high, gets past Shively. The throw to try to get the runner scoring is late, and Schiltz will score. Advancing to second is Jennings, and Phoenix scores the opening run of the ball game, and now still a runner in scoring position in a 2-1 count to Carver Wallowicz. It's an unearned run that scores. Schiltz got aboard after a Carpenter error to start the game. The 2-1 is in the dirt. 3-1. Henley falling behind in the first inning. Last time, well, in fact, both times that the Hornets have played Phoenix, it was complete game shutouts for Hornets starters. Now, the Pirates are in business. Now, as Wallowicz draws a walk on the 3-1 pitch in the dirt that brings up Sam Schiltz. Sam Schultz is the starting pitcher today for Phoenix. We'll learn more about his action on the mound when he takes the field. He pops one in the air behind first base. That one could be trouble in right field. Running in and making the catch is Max Price, and that will end the inning. The Pirates score one, no base hits required. They leave two stranded. They lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Bottom of the first inning, and Henley trails Phoenix 1-0. A chance to respond with a batting order that goes like this. Leading off and in center field is Peyton Price. Connor Shively, the catcher, bats second. Aiden Hayes bats third, playing at shortstop. The third baseman, Mark Carpenter, hitting cleanup today. The pitcher, Bo Pyle, bats fifth, followed by the right fielder, Max Price, hitting sixth. Batting seventh is Thomas Bakke. He is designated hitting for the second baseman, Carson Sims, today. Corbin Hamilton at first base bats eighth, followed by the left fielder, Luke Austin, hitting ninth for the Henley Hornets. On the mound for Phoenix is Sam Schultz. Taking a look at Schultz this season, this will be his fourth start on the year. He's 2-0 entering play. He's pitched just over 25 innings this year with an ERA of 3.31. And last time against Henley, he pitched middle innings against the Hornets. 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 strikeouts. That was back to start Skyline Conference League play. We'll see if Schultz has learned anything about going through this Hornets lineup another time. But this Henley lineup is different than the last time he played him. There's no Owen Harper in the lineup, no Lane Frank. You're adding Bakke Hamilton into the lineup today in their place. So a different look for Henley as they try to climb out of a 1-0 hole in the bottom of the first. First pitch low in the dirt to Peyton Price. 1-0 to the Henley center fielder this season for Price, batting .356. And the 1-0 home to Price is going to be taken high, 2-0. For Price this year, he started out the year hot, but right around this Phoenix series, back a few Saturdays ago, Price has sort of struggled a little bit at the plate, or maybe, I guess the more accurate term would be he just kind of returned back into orbit. He was hitting over .450 heading into league play, now has regressed back to .356, still an outstanding average. Ahead in the count, 3-0. That pitch will be called a strike. It looked like Price was taken all the way, 3-1. Price, Shively, and Hayes leading things off for the Hornets. The right-hander Schultz sets and delivers the 3-1. That'll be taken for strike 2. Price got about halfway down the first base line before that was called strike 2 on him. So he's got to jog back and get ready for a full count pitch. Schultz from the windup in the 3-2. Fouled off, count remains. Schultz, his windup and delivery almost like a stretch, just with an extra step. He lines up not really square to the batter's box, but more at an angle. Works into his motion quickly. The 3-2 will miss high and in, and ball 4. Walks Price and brings up Shively. Connor Shively has been outstanding this season. He leads the entire conference in batting average at .509 coming into play today. He also leads the conference in hits, runs scored. He's just having an outstanding season. Now bats with a runner aboard at first and nobody out. Left-handed hitting Shively Swings and lifts one to left field. Moving over is Patron, and that one will get down fair. Rounding third, and he is going to stay put is Price. A double puts 2 runners in scoring position for Aiden Hayes. Hayes this season batting .400. Only 2 RBIs, or pardon me, he's batting .375 and 21 RBI for him this season. He's second on the team, batting now with nobody out and 2 runners in scoring position. His team trails 1-0. First pitch to Hayes is an off-speed pitch that will find the zone. Nice placement there from Schiltz. 0-1, the count to the Henley senior shortstop. The 0-1. Bounced weakly foul down the third base line. 0-2. Now to Hayes. Schiltz working from the windup with the runner on third. The 0-2 is lined to left field. Patron running in, but it'll drop in front of him. Scoring from third is Peyton Price. Advancing to third is Connor Shively. And aboard at first with an RBI single is Aiden Hayes. And we are tied at 1 in the bottom of the first. Mark Carpenter bats now for Henley. He's the team leader in RBI with 29 on the season. He's also third on the team in batting at .415 on the year. Big lead off of first from Hayes. He takes off. The pitch is called a strike. The throw down will be cut off to try to keep Shively home at third. But now 2 runners in scoring position for Carpenter. And that was, again, called a strike, so it's an 0-1 count. We're going to have another meeting at the mound, this time for Phoenix. So a splendid time for us to remind you today's broadcast is brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza, a proud supporter of high school sports. So Carpenter behind in the count 0-1 as we are about ready for baseball here at Henley High School. Beautiful roster field in pristine condition as always. Maybe the best kept field in the conference. In fact, I don't think it's maybe. I know it is. Here's the 0-1. Good pitch there at 0-2. Carpenter might have been looking for something off speed in the fastball. He didn't offer it at all. It's an 0-2 count to the Henley cleanup hitter. Here it is. Carpenter is going to take ball 1. That was a close pitch on the inner third of what I thought was the plate, but Carpenter gifted a second life here. 1-2 to the Henley third baseman. Here's the pitch. And he's going to take that one. That skips underneath the glove of Schiltz, but staying put at third is Shively. So it's a 2-2 count. Bo Pyle waits on deck for the Hornets. And first base is open. So you don't really have to come in with anything too crazy here if you're Schiltz. Still a couple of pitches to work with, and again, first base is open. Here's the 2-2. That pitch will miss outside. Good eye there by Carpenter. He's laid off a couple of tough pitches. Moves the count to 3-2. And Schiltz gathers the sign, looks in, and delivers. Swung on and missed. Carpenter goes down on strikes for the first out in the inning, and that'll bring up Bo Pyle. Going around the diamond for Phoenix, we mentioned Schiltz behind the plate, Cunningham at third, Watts at short, Behard at second, Jennings plays first today for Phoenix, Patron in left, Wallowicz in center, and Segundo in right field. Stepping in now is Bo Pyle. Here's the pitch to the Henley pitcher. A curveball had Pyle well out in front. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Popped up behind shortstop. Shallow left field. Watts is going back to make the catch, and he will. Tagging from third is Shively, and no throw in. He will score with ease, and Henley takes a 2-1 lead. Sacrifice fly for Pyle. 2 away now. And that'll bring up the Henley right fielder, Max Price. Here's the pitch. That's hit in the sky behind second base. Rotz again calls everybody off and makes the catch. That will end the inning. But the Hornets score 2 on 2 base hits in the inning. They leave 1 stranded. They lead 2-1 as we head to the top of the second on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's right here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
Getting ready for the top of the second inning in a 2-1 ball game. The Hornets in front of Phoenix early. Luca Patron, Saul Segundo, and Caden Cunningham trying to answer the 2 runs that Henley put up in the bottom half. But Phoenix did score in the first. It was Jackson Schultz who reached on an error and was manufactured in to score on a pass ball. Pyle looks to work and get his bats back up to the plate here as Henley was swinging the bat nicely. But Patron here to disrupt that. Luca Patron this season batting .211 for Phoenix. The first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. Pyle typically likes to work quickly, already ready to toss the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. That one is taken for ball 1, missed outside. And so the count now 1-1 to the Phoenix left fielder. Pyle delivers. Hard ground ball right back to Pyle. He's going to walk a few steps over to first. Underhand toss onto Hamilton for the first out. Saul Segundo batting now, the Phoenix right fielder. Segundo this season batting $150. Although has only played in 11 games for Phoenix this season of the 18 that they've played. So not a huge sample size for Segundo as he swings and fouls off the first pitch. Look out, a couple of Henley fans having to duck out of the way of that one. Not a very high screen for folks sitting down the first base line. Here's the 0-1 taken high, 1-1. Couple of raindrops falling. Nothing too serious yet. 1-1 is taken low, 2-1. Certainly not coming on like it did when the Hornets played the Vikings a few weeks ago when we went from almost clear skies to a hailstorm. But just a little bit of a shower, which is kind of what we expected when we saw the cloud formation to the north. It's a 2-2 count to Saul Segundo. Here's the pitch from Pyle. That'll be taken for ball 3. The count runs full. Full count pitch, line drive over to shortstop on a hop. Hayes plays it in the gap, toss to first, and that's the second out. A nice play in the middle of the infield there by Aiden Hayes. Puts Segundo down for Caden Cunningham to bat. Cunningham batting .200 this season. With 2 away in the top of the second inning, his team trails 2-1. First pitch from Pyle, low, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That'll be taken wide. 2-0 to Segundo, or pardon me, to Cunningham. The 2-0 is flared foul. Count now moves to 2 balls and a strike to Cunningham. Phoenix this year, only 2 wins in conference play, puts them in 4th place in the league behind Henley, Hidden Valley, and Klamath Union. It's a 3-1 count to Cunningham. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball out towards short. Hayes charging, skips and tosses to first for the 3rd out. The Pirates go down in order in the 2nd inning. They trail 2-1 as we head to the bottom half of the 2nd on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Getting ready for the bottom of the 2nd inning on 104.3 and 960 Sports, MyBasin.com, as Henley leads Phoenix 2-1. Due up this half for the Hornets, Thomas Bakke, Corbin Hamilton, and Luke Austin. Sam Schiltz still on the bump for Phoenix. As, again, just a light sprinkle here. Hopefully that's all it stays at, the South Basin. Our vantage point from what you see on MyBasin.com looking pretty much directly south towards the California border. Down behind the right-handed batter's box, looking out towards right field. And again, this rain that we kind of saw earlier pretty much developed in the area behind home plate, which is going back towards downtown Klamath Falls, and it's kind of blown over this way. Around the outfield here at Rosser Field, you look down the right field line, 325 in right, 350 in left and right center, 380 to dead center field, and 315 to left field. The dimensions here at Rosser Field. It's a 1-0 count to Thomas Bakke this season. Bakke hasn't started all that many games for the Hornets, but he's made good use of the at-bats he's gotten as a reserve. The 1-0 to Bakke is going to miss 2-0. Bakke batting .296, generally off the bench for the Hornets this season, but again has appeared in 13 of the 19 games. He has gotten quite a few reps off the bench for Henley. The 2-0 to Bakke is going to miss high, 3-0. Bakke batting instead of the starting second baseman today for Henley. That would be Carson Sims. So Bakke ahead, 3-0. The pitch taken for a strike. A nice fastball on the inner third to Bakke makes it 3-1. Bakke does get on base to the tune of 345 this year, and he's walked only one time. Full count pitch now to Bakke. Trying to work that second walker just any way to get on base for Bakke. The 3-2, bouncing ball out towards short. Playing it on a hop is Watts. He fires over to first, but the throw is wide left and skips past the first baseman Jennings. Now advancing to second is Bakke, and he will get aboard on an error to start the 2nd inning. So that'll bring up Corbin Hamilton with a runner in scoring position. Hamilton this season batting .250. He's had even less chances than Bakke has this season. Hamilton, a freshman, the varsity level, rips one deep to left field, carrying behind the left fielder Patron, and that one will skip off the wall. Rounding third and headed for home is Bakke, and standing at second with an RBI double is Corbin Hamilton. That is Hamilton's first extra base hit on the season. He knocked in his fourth RBI, and that'll give the Henley Hornets a 3-1 lead. Luke Austin to bat now for Henley. He is second on his team in batting average at .486. He's also second in the conference in batting average behind Connor Shively, who we mentioned earlier. He takes strike one there. Such a gift to have your number 9 hitter, a guy like Luke Austin, who would probably bat at the top of the order if the top of the order wasn't already so crowded with the likes of Price, Shively, and Hayes. Pick move to second, diving back safely is Corbin Hamilton. It was a close one, but he did get in under the tag. It's an 0-1 count to Austin. Henley leads 3-1 in the bottom of the second. The 0-1 is taken for a ball, 1-1. Set, the pitcher Schiltz delivers. That'll be taken for a ball, 2-1. Again, aboard at second is Hamilton. Austin batting now. He has 10 RBI this season, but not a whole lot of opportunity batting at the bottom of the lineup. He's typically one to get the rally started. 2-1 flared into right field. That'll land in front of the right fielder Segundo and skip to the left. An ugly bounce in the outfield is going to allow Austin to settle into second and score Hamilton to make it a 4-1 Henley lead. Back to the top of the Henley order now for Peyton Price. He walked and came around to score in his first plate appearance. That one is hit shallow center field. That is going to get down. Rounding third, he's headed for home. It's Luke Austin, and he will score. The throw in is a high one. Advancing to second on the play is going to be Peyton Price, and the Hornets content to just keep on trading places out there and add to this lead. They now lead 5-1. That's 3 doubles in a row to score 3 runs for Henley. And now Connor Shively bats. He takes the first pitch for called strike one. Next pitch is, well, it's going to be a pickoff move to second. Won the count home to the lefty Shively. And the pitch. Shively checks his swing, called a strike anyway. 0-2. Still nobody out in the inning, and 3 runs home for the Hornets, who lead 5-1. Shively swings and misses and is tagged out on the drop third strike, so down he goes. That'll bring up Aiden Hayes. Hayes earlier in the game singled in a run, one of 2 runs that Henley scored in the first. This season for Hayes, batting .375, still a runner in scoring position for him. It's Peyton Price. Move over to second. Price dives back safely. That'll miss high. 1-0, the first pitch to Hayes. Now a 1-0 on its way. That one will miss as well, 2-0. For Henley this season, they are winners of 11 straight coming into the contest. We mentioned their 16-1 record. That's the most wins by any team in the entire state of Oregon, not just the 4A classification. We're talking every classification. The Hornets, undeniably, one of the best teams in the state. It's a 3-0 count to Aiden Hayes. And that one will miss, and he will earn a walk. So now runners at first and second for Mark Carpenter. The rain really starting to come down now here at Rosser Field, what we feared. It's Carpenter bats now. Pitches in the dirt. Both runners will advance. And it's a 1-0 count to Carpenter. Switching balls out there as we try to contend with the rain that has come upon us. So Hayes at second, Price at third. Carpenter, the team leader in RBIs, the conference leader in RBIs, bats now. Still only one away. Prime opportunity for the Hornets to try to expand upon this lead. The pitch. That will be taken for a strike. Carpenter earlier today struck out, uncharacteristic of him, but he geared up for a fastball that never came. It's the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, skips past the catcher, and that should score Price. Henley leads now 6-1. Advancing to third is Hayes. Still a good RBI opportunity for Mark Carpenter. Bo Pyle waits on deck. Carpenter rips one in the air towards left. Back is Patron, and he will kiss that one goodbye. Mark Carpenter, a 2-run blast to make the score 8-1 Henley. That is Carpenter's 6th home run of the year. Came at a pretty good time there for the Hornets. A couple of RBIs and cleans up the bases for Bo Pyle. First pitch to Pyle will skip away, and it's a 1-0 count to him. Henley has scored 6 in this half inning. The pitch is going to miss there, 2-0. Ground ball out towards second base. Up with it, the second baseman, Bayhard, for the out. So now 2 away in the inning. And that will bring up Max Price. Price takes one low there, 1-0. Ground ball winds up in center field. And a single with 1 out for Price. And the Hornets have battered around as Bakke bats here again. We've got a meeting out here on the mound, and I think the coaches might have a conversation on whether or not we want to continue and maybe try to push festivities to Thursday. We'll see. As Coach Dakini walks out to dry off home plate. And, well, still having a conference out there. It looks like they might be over it and continuing to play in this ball game. And it is coming down pretty good out here, but not enough to cancel the ball game as Max Price is aboard at first, and Thomas Bakke hits now for Henley. Move over to first. But back safely is Price. Swung on and missed, and an 0-1 count to Bakke. Bakke 1 for 1 earlier today. Actually, well, according to the book I'm using now, he's 1 for 1. I had to pack up my book. It got a little bit too wet. So I gave him reaching on an error earlier, but the official scorer gave him a base hit. So we'll give Bakke a base hit too, 1 for 1 today. Move over to first, and again, back safely is Price. So no harm there. And umpires ushering everybody off the field as the rain again picks up here. Wow, and right as they exit the field, the wind picks up, the rain picks up. And they might be calling this one as people get up and head for the exits. Although, boy, is it coming down. We'll step aside here on mybasin.com. If they call this one, we'll let you know. Leave it right here, 104.3 and 960 Sports.